Hello everyone, it is November 2021, and that means it's time for another annual elevator parts tour. Let's get this video started. I have a lot of new parts that I have received since the last video, and a lot of new things to show you guys. I'll begin with the usual, and we'll go from there, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So y'all already know the deal. We're starting off with my very first elevator part, which is this Adams lantern. Otis elevator fire key box right next to it. There's a fire alarm. Here's a elevator fire key box. Otis Series 1 lantern. Wire that out. This little switch right here actually wires up this exit sign that I got. This is from Macy's DOCO. They replaced this exit sign with an LED one, so I got the old one. It's one of those triangle ones, so it looks really cool, especially at night or in the dark. Yeah. Those signs are still there from the last video. The sales sample. Right here is a new part that I have. This is a Mad Atoll call station. It's the newer one. I believe this would be the version you'd see on Schindler's. Fire service. And yeah, 2 buttons. I really like how these push. Here's a little EPCO call station. So right there used to be a vintage Otis lantern, but I switched it out with a Westinghouse lantern. You'll see what happened to the Otis one later in the video, but that's there now, and it's still wired up to the bells and stuff, but the battery is dying, so it only does it sometimes. The GAL Dominion elevator call station from the 707 building. Thank you, Andrew, for giving this to me. Here's another exit sign from Macy's DOCO. This one has a swing front to replace the lights. I have a lot of parts in my closet now because I am literally out of space. There's a EPCO lantern right there. Here is the Otis panel from SPS Tower. None of the buttons do anything until you turn the car top inspection switch on, and then everything lights up. I really like the Skyway bar button. Otis Buzz. Down here on the floor I have a really beat up ThyssenKrupp Aurora call station. This is from one of my elevator mechanic friends. This thing was actually split in half. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I glued it right here because the whole panel was snapped in 2 pieces, so yeah, and I'm missing a button there. There's my Sears crate from Arden Fair when they closed. Down here we have some new call stations. I don't think I had these last time, but these are older Innovation Decorator call stations, probably from a national elevator. These have the old metal contacts. And fire service right there. Here's an intermediate. Dover Impulse. I believe this is custom. Fire service. And then here's a regular intermediate one without the fire service. Over here I have that cheap Chinese call station from eBay. The battery is completely dead on here, so that doesn't work anymore. Behind that I have that PTL call station, and I have not changed the batteries at all in the past I don't know, 3 years. It still works barely. Behind it, here's an Otis lantern. Up here I have the Armor floor lantern, Otis Lexan floor indicator, elevator signs, whatnot. I'll demonstrate what that does later. Right here is the US SoftTouch COP that I got. Thanks again to Jason for writing the code for this thing. It works very nicely. So you can hit 2, 1, door buttons. Yeah, and then we got fire service right here and emergency light. If you guys want to see more in depth behind the scenes of this panel, check out last year's part video. I go into a bit more detail about this thing. Here is a bunch of GAL door equipment from the DOCO West Garage. So here is one of my displays. This started out as the overflow display, but now it's another main display. I have a lot of new parts on here since the last video. Armor oil or lubricant can. I really like this one. And there's a whole freaking GAL door operator right there. Here's one of the lanterns from the DOCO garage. This one runs a little simulation. I disconnected the bell because it was having a lot of issues, as you can see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so I just kind of don't really use the bell feature anymore. But yeah, it runs a little simulation. It goes all the way to the top and it goes back down. I'm gonna turn that off. Right here is the little elevator floor indicator thing that Jason and I worked on. He made this panel. I bought these buttons, wired it all, and when you push the buttons, the corresponding floor lights up, which is pretty cool. Right here, if I can get over here, I have so much stuff. Here is a old CJ Anderson COP. Right here is a new part. This is Cal West. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. This is a Cal West COP, Dead Man's Control, maybe from a freight elevator. This came from Pac West Elevator Company earlier this year. So yeah, that is EPCO flush line, which I didn't have in my collection yet. Right here is Dover black button. Stop switch. Yeah, I really like this one. And it says Dover down there. Here's another new part. This is US square button. This was also given to me by Pac West Elevator. I actually rode the elevator this came from. Yeah, pretty cool. And then there's a hot and lubricant can. This one's really cool. I like this one. And then there's an Adams Survivor call station back there. That works the armor lantern that's on top of my closet. And then looking down here, we have a whole bunch of random parts, key switches, buttons. I have this little innovation to be used in case a fire button lit up. And then this alarm button. Various stuff. Here's some promotional items from Midwest Elevator given to me by Jason. Sedgwick, Long. Yeah, and then here's a part of a Dover Impulse COP I got from eBay. There are a lot of these and I didn't have one yet, so I decided why not just go for it. This is from earlier this year. There was an Hitachi escalator that was ripped out at this mall, and I was there to document the whole process, and I got all of these parts from it. An Otis cone plate, and then Westinghouse stop switch, giant spring, Otis mug, magnetic switch. And then here is the on, off, and stop for the escalator, Hitachi escalator. Here's some brails, an elevator sign. And yeah, this is a new Montgomery logo that I got. This one says dependable elevators and not just Montgomery elevators. This right here was the pit switch for the Hitachi escalator. It was a Dover stop switch, and I put a buzzer on the side, so it does that when you push stop. Usually these say pull to stop and push to run, but this was the opposite for the pit. Down here is Westinghouse triangle button. I have it wired up to that lantern up there. And then there's the Westy bell. Right here is my bell board that I made a couple years ago. Otis, Dover, Westinghouse. The solenoids in here are super loud, so I'll demonstrate the Dover bell. Right here is a ThyssenKrupp VR lantern. Just wired it up to this little tiny button down here to do that. Right here we have an inland call station for a dumbwaiter. I wired it up to this innovation lantern. Otis concave button right here. This is pretty cool. This is from Tyler. Adams, EPCO WN, whatever you want to call it. This is from Sam. The shoe button from Sam. Kone Series 220. I really like how this pushes. Innovation Kone Delta. I wired it blue. Kone buttons. California compliant. And then there's just some random stuff down here. Bunch of button caps and whatnot. Kone lantern. The explosion-proof micro switch. An alarm bell. Yeah. Right here is just an Otis lantern. Wire it up to this little toggle switch right here. Otis Series 5. I switched that out. I switched the Series 4 out for this one. Just a little simple, I guess it could be a nightlight. Here we have Amtech. Here's a lantern for the Amtech. GAL VR. I finally wired that up. GAL Jet Plus. Come on. Looks like I need to clean that contact. Dover VR. And then this is a home elevator. COP Adams. Except for this. This is a new part that I got. This is from Adam. This is a call station from Campbell Mithun Tower. I think I pronounced that right. So yeah, it's a circle call station. Right here on the bottom we have this Adams call station that was made to look older. Customized. Wired up blue. Dover black button COP. Here's a Kone or Innovation Delta, whatever you want to call it. This one's weird. It's very like clicky, like it pushes in a lot. Eyeline. I like that button. Adams COP. This is a elevator technology COP. And I don't have the keys in it right now, but that fan is wired up to the fan, and the light turns on these two buttons, and then fire service lights up the fire hat. If you guys want to see that, then just check out last year's video. Dewhurst COP. This is from Canada. I wired that up. These buttons are pretty much ERM contacts. Door buttons, alarm. The stop button lights up the emergency light right here. And then, oh, don't forget B2. And then here's up. Wired to this button. I would guess these are for inching. Not quite sure why those are there. I love the animation on that one. I just wish the up one was brighter. You can barely see it. This is my armor COP. This used to be multicolored, but I actually rewired it to just be incandescent. And it looks really nice. Alarm button. Has an Otis buzzer in it. And if you flip the stop switch, it continuously buzzes, which is very nice. Here's a GAL car top inspection station. Jet Plus. Right here is a freaking door operator motor for a GAL door operator. Here's a new part. This is a Bolin elevator COP. These are actually square D buttons. You can see it says Bolin Elevator, Stockton, California on the bottom. These are very, very rare, and I've only seen it on 3 elevators. It's got like a dial almost. Switch right there. Alarm. Right here is just an Innovation Pinnacle call station. I wired it to that Innovation lantern. It's pretty cool. There's a vintage Otis lubricant can. And these 2 COPs are some of the best parts that I acquired this year. So, starting on the left, we have an Otis Elevonic 401 COP. This came from the Hyatt Regency in Sacramento. They modernized these elevators almost 4 years ago. And I thought for sure these panels were gonna be gone, but my local ThyssenKrupp office had these in storage. And I finally got one of these thanks to a friend. So yeah, none of these buttons can really do anything. Can't really wire them. The door buttons, old Otis micro switches. Alarm. And actually, if you flip the stop switch, then I have it wired up. So the alarm has the Dover buzz. And up here, fire service. And floor lockout. And once you flip the switch back to stop, it stops power to the battery, I guess. And these don't do anything. Right here is a very cool GAL COP. This is from Craigslist, and I actually had Alex pick this up for me. There were 4 of these, and he was willing to drive all the way out to, I forgot where this was, but it was nowhere near us, but very close to him. This was probably from O&W. I believe they were the only brand that used this version of GAL. So if you insert the key into this little on-off switch right here, it turns on the power to the panel. So you have the phone down here. It's white, alarm, red, door buttons, and then all the floor buttons are incandescent. Of course, it had to be. And then fire service up here. A little beeper in the back. Can't do anything with the emergency light or the Flora indicator, but everything else is wired. And then once you flip the key back to off, none of the buttons do anything anymore. Down here on the bottom of my bed, I have 2 Montgomery floor indicators. That's an older one from Black Button. That's a square button one. And then there's the other Montgomery logo right there. Here are 3 brass elevator fixtures. This one right here on the left, this is from Sam. It's an Adams EPCO WN call station. Surface mount, very long. Right here is a ThyssenKrupp MAD button. Lights up blue, I really like it. And then here's a home elevator COP. Light actually lights this up. The Westinghouse motor plate, smaller one. There's the Jowavator sign from Destiny. Bunch of little parts up there. Montgomery logo. I actually found a better one on eBay. This one is in perfect condition. Look how shiny it is. Here's an old in case of fire sign. Below it I have framed, obviously, Montgomery logos. This is from a lubricant can. Controller plate right there. And 3 capacity plates. So this one is from Montgomery. This is when I went to Montgomery Kone. And then it's just Kone. So I think that's very picture frame worthy. Right here on my headboard I have a lot of parts. Here is the ICO COP from that elevator here in SEC. Here's an Otis car top station. I believe this is new. I don't think I had this last time. And then right here is a monitor floor lockout. And then there's a 2Bs in case of fire button there. Schindler 5500 call station from Schindler. Hello. There's a call station from the ICO elevator. And right here is a new part that I got. This is a haunted mushroom button. And I absolutely love the way this pushes. It's very satisfying. Oh yeah, and these 2 parts are literally sitting inside of a roller or a guide shoe from elevator number 4 at DOCO. And right here is just an elevator sign. If you want to see that and the Jowavator sign in action, then just check out last year's video. And right here is just an innovation sales sample. Prestige. And it's on top of a car top station. There's an egg lantern, Otis egg lantern. And here is the COP for one of the elevators at Macy's in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's an Adams COP. And right here is just an innovation home elevator, residential elevator call station. This right here is one of the stop switches for that Hitachi escalator that I mentioned earlier in the video. The one that got ripped out. This was the stop switch for the bottom landing. I actually wired this one up so that when you lift the cover and push the button, it's very buzzy. So right here on my desk, I have 3 elevator parts. These are all brass. This right here is an Otis black button from Canada that I restored. This was very disgusting before I redid it and refinished it and everything. And it looks really nice now. And this right here is a GAL black button call station given to me by Northeast Elevators and restored by CJ Anderson. And right here is a home elevator COP with Cutler hammer buttons. This is a really cool piece. It's missing a light switch there, but hey, most of the stuff is there. This was also a very grimy elevator part before I restored it, so yeah, these are 3 of my favorite parts right here. And then there's a Kone Eco Disc. When I said at the beginning of the video that I was running out of space, I really meant it. I have some parts underneath my desk too. Are you surprised? So right here is a monitor call station. Behind it is an Electrodyne call station. I actually have this little plastic here so it doesn't scratch it. And then here's an Innovation Universal call station. EPCO Otis Series 4. And then here's a cool piece that I got. Not sure where this came from. It's from eBay. The seller said he had it in storage for a long time. So who knows where this originated from. It's a touch button. I can't wire it though. Can't figure out how that works. And then right there is that Gem City COP that I got from eBay. And then a bunch of lanterns. This is a Haunted Lantern from Rafe. And then there's a Haunted Lantern from Sam. And then there's a Westinghouse lantern. And, oh, okay, that's it. And then right here is the Regency call station. I love the way that pushes. Right here is the Otis lantern that used to be on top of my door. And I have two buttons up top, let's say up and down. And when you push them, it lights up. I have incandescent bulbs in there. On top of my window is one of the elevator signs from Sears at Arden Fair. You can see, there's where it used to hang. I took it down when they closed. And there's me. And then right here is one of the COPs from the DOCO West Garage. EPCO SSL. And then there's a echo button down there. And here is my main display. For the most part, it's pretty much the same since the last video, but I do have a few new parts on here and I reorganized it because I had a lot of additions, I guess you can say. So, as usual, we shall start at the top left and work our way down to the bottom right. Up here we have a bunch of lanterns. Lots and lots of lanterns. Here's a C.J. Anderson floor indicator that Tom sent me. Armor floor indicator, C.J. Anderson floor indicator, and EPCO floor indicator, which has a secret message written inside of it because my room is so damn dusty all the time. Right here we have hot and triangle button, hot and L series, whatever the hell it's called. US circle button, this came from Rave. Really cool. Here's a US circle button from Riverside Hall at Sac State here in Sacramento. US square button, another US square button, and another US square button. Well, I thought that one didn't work at first. And another US square button. And then here's US SoftTouch. It doesn't stay lit because it just pulses. It just sends a little signal to the controller and the controller makes it stay lit. And then here's a US capacity plate up here. And then right here is just a US circle button to use in case of fire button. Right here we have Dover Impulse, my Dover shelf. Here we have a Dover Help Link, Impulse Lantern, Impulse Call Station, older Impulse Call Station, Dover Black Button, newer Dover Black Button, floor indicator, Dover floor indicator, and then a black button car top station, and then various Dover stuff, Dover logos and whatnot. Right here is my Otis shelf. So over here we have an Otis Touch panel, Otis Lexan lantern, black button freight elevator call station, normal black button call station, Otis Lexan from Andrew and Jason, California compliant Lexan, Otis Touch. The down is being stupid recently, so that's not working right. Otis black button from Jason. This one has a rotodial inside of it. This is a new part. I printed out the numbers and put it in the rotodial. And then here's Otis Series 1 and another Otis Series 1 and an Otis phone. Here's an Otis bell. And then that's from the Sutter Stockton garage, and so are these right here. And then here's just a capacity plate. And then here's Otis Lexan and black button. Down here is all my armor stuff. So right here we have an armor square button. And then armor, I don't know what this is called, but yeah, that. I plan on changing that out to incandescent eventually. And then here's an intermediate call station, incandescent, very nice. We all know where this came from. This is from the DOCO garage. Here's an armor car top station, very, very industrial and heavy duty. Like, look at this stop switch. Jeez. And then ERM CA92 and an elevator rotary fan. And then we have some various signs and stuff. And then down here is the DOCO shelf, as I like to call it, because all the parts down here are from Downtown Plaza, which is now DOCO. So right here is the call station from the first floor of my favorite elevator, which is now unfortunately demolished. But this came from the first floor, and then this right here came from the parking level, P1. So that and that are two of my most favorite parts because it came from my favorite elevator ever. Right here is the first floor call station for elevator number 3 at the DOCO garage. When they modernized elevator, there's one of the phones. I forgot which elevator this came from. And then right here is Armor VR, which is very cool. And then another Armor VR. Here's one of the PIs from one of the elevators. 1 or 2, forgot which one it came from. And a pit switch, the Westinghouse ball switch. And then right here is one of the signs. This came from elevator number 1. And here is my Montgomery fixture shelf. So this is obviously, this consists of all of my favorite parts. Starting on this side, we have Montgomery black button. I absolutely love this call station. This is one of my favorite parts in my collection. Right here, we have Montgomery black button car top station. This came from Van City Elevators. It's very shiny. And then I acquired this earlier this year. This is the newer version of the car top station. This one just has one button and a toggle switch for up and down. And it's not shiny. Right here we have Montgomery square button. Battery's dead in that one. An intermediate Montgomery square button. I got this from one of my elevator mechanic friends earlier this year. And then we have this new part. This is a new part I got. This is a custom Montgomery square button. It's like angled on the sides. Montgomery A series from Jason. And Montgomery A series lantern right there. Capacity plate. This is the only part on here that's not Montgomery related, but it's wired to one of those innovation bells that you would hear on like the Monties from the 90s. Sound familiar? And here's two B's in case of fire buttons. Bunch of Montgomery relays, Montgomery buttons, A series capacitor or logo right there, and then a bunch of signs. Montgomery, nice big chunky Montgomery logo right there, and then a little flashlight. Here's more of my Dover parts. So this is Dover traditional custom and regular Dover traditional, California compliant traditional, and the Adams replacement. And then this is from the Keener garage. This is one of the newer call stations from it. And then here's a ThyssenKrupp Signa 4, whatever you want to call it, button. Concave button, access switch, Dover Bell, Aurora button. I finally got a second contact for the bottom button, but it's very dim. Oh well. And then here's a ThyssenKrupp lantern. And then we just have a bunch of promotional items, and that's cool. I got that this year, I think. I don't know. I can't remember at this point. Here's some capacity plates. They're all different. Moving down, this is my shelf of the oldest elevator parts that I own. On this side, we have an elevator crank, vintage Otis crank. Right here, we have a really old out of service sticker. I do not know what brand that is. I've never heard of it. Must have been local, but this is made out of like cardstock. It's very thick. And then here we have an Otis freight elevator capacity plate. This, I'm not sure who makes these buttons, but I found this on Etsy. Here's an Otis relay. Here's another one of those weird buttons. It might have came from the same elevator, but this is very heavy. It's made out of cast iron. Here's one of those old like manual elevator call stations. I'm not sure if this was made by Otis or not, but it's very cool. And then here's another one. This one is intermediate. Right here is a new part. This is this plate I got off of eBay, but it didn't have a button. But Jason, my friend here, put a button in here and made a whole contact. So if you look at it, you can see it's all custom 3D printed because that's what he's best at. And now it works. Right here we have an Atlas call station. And then a vintage Otis call station. This came from Tyler. CJ Anderson call stations. So this one used to look like that, but I restored this one, so it looks very nice now. It's got an in-use light right there. Right here we have a Staley call station. This is one of my favorite parts. And then I'm not sure who makes this button, maybe Otis, but they call these mother of pearl buttons. This is a part that I got off of eBay. I really like how these buttons push. They're like mushy. They just sit on a little strip of metal inside. And then here's an Otis black button call station that I restored. Looks very nice. And down here we have Schindler MT. This is my Schindler area, I guess. Schindler MT call station. Long bar from BC's Vaders. HTVR. Westinghouse, Schindler RT, whatever you want to call it. And then this is Westinghouse AE from Rafe. Westinghouse black button from Elevating Chicago. Westinghouse lubricant can. Mushroom button from Sam. No contacts, just a plate. Stack of Westinghouse logos. Custom Westinghouse floor indicator and lantern. Bunch of Schindler stuff. Here's the cracked Westinghouse bell. And down here on the final shelf, this is Epco SSL from Jared. Epco Circle Line. Another version of SSL. Epco Flush Line from Adam. GAL Jet Plus. Another GAL Jet Plus. That right there is from Northeast Elevators. It's like a car top station. And then we have PTL from PTL. And then a bunch of to-be-used and fire buttons and a lot of dust. Also, can't forget this Schindler call station. This is brand new, never installed. Got this from eBay. I also have this. This is an old advertisement from a magazine of Montgomery Elevators. Very cool. As always, another part video will be coming out in November 2022 to show what this collection looks like as of then. But for now, I hope you guys enjoy this 2021 update on my elevator parts collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to give it a thumbs up. Give me all your parts so that I can put them on the ceiling, and that will be it. Thank you guys for watching.